Multiple waves of Arctic air are about to slam into the United States, and I'm not talking about one cold snap. I'm talking about back-to-back-to-back blasts of frigid temperatures that will transform the entire eastern half of America into a deep freeze for weeks. But before that happens, we have to deal with what's developing right now. A bomb cyclone, a severe weather outbreak, and one of the most complex winter storms of the season. What we're watching is a fundamental shift in the atmospheric pattern. The jet stream, that river of air that controls our weather, is setting up in a configuration that favors cold and snow across the eastern two-thirds of the United States. And this isn't a temporary shift. Once this pattern locks in, it tends to persist for weeks. All the signals we're seeing suggest this cold pattern will dominate through at least the first half of January. By the end of this forecast, you'll understand exactly what's coming, when it's coming, and what you need to do to stay safe. At the 5-minute mark, I'll explain the science behind this bomb cyclone. By minute 10, you'll know the precise timeline for your area, and by the end, you'll have actionable steps to protect yourself and your family. Let me start with what makes this storm so dangerous. We have two opposing air masses about to collide. Very warm, moist air surging northward out of the Gulf of Mexico. At the same time, Arctic air pouring southward out of Canada. These two air masses are going to meet along a cold frontal boundary stretching from Texas to New Mexico all the way into New England. When warm air and cold air collide with this much temperature contrast, the atmosphere becomes incredibly unstable. The warm air wants to rise, the cold air wants to sink. And in between, you get explosive weather development. In the northern portions, heavy snow. In the transition zone, freezing rain and dangerous ice. In the warm sector to the south, severe thunderstorms with tornadoes possible. The pressure of this storm system is forecast to drop by 24 millibars or more within 24 hours. That's the technical definition of a bomb cyclone. When atmospheric pressure drops that rapidly, the storm intensifies exponentially. The GFS model shows this system crashing to 971 millibars by Monday morning over Michigan. That's extraordinarily deep for a winter storm. Here's what this means in practical terms. We're looking at 1 to 2 feet of snow across the upper Midwest. Some isolated pockets could see 2 to even 3 feet. Snowfall rates of 3 to 4 inches per hour during the peak. Wind gusts of 50 to 70 miles per hour across a massive area. Ice accumulation in the northeast that will bring down power lines, and a severe weather outbreak on Sunday afternoon that could produce tornadoes in late December. Currently, we have a winter storm that moved offshore from the northeast earlier today, Saturday. That system produced widespread 4 to 8 inches of snow across New York, northeast Pennsylvania, and Long Island. Hartwick, New York saw 11.5 inches. New York City saw 4.3 inches in Central Park. Connecticut cities south of Hartford received 5 to 9 inches. That storm is done and clearing out. But the main event is developing over the Central Plains right now. Gulf moisture is pushing northward. Pacific moisture is coming in from the west. All of this is converging over the northern plains, and it's going to fuel what happens on Sunday. Late tonight, Saturday night, snow will develop over the Rockies and begin spreading into the northern plains. The storm system will be sitting at 999 millibars. Nothing dramatic yet, but Sunday morning, the storm will be positioned over Iowa around 1,001 millibars. Then, the rapid intensification begins. Sunday afternoon, heavy snow will be falling across Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. This is when snowfall rates could reach 3 to 4 inches per hour. With temperatures as cold as they're going to be, we're talking about very fluffy, light snow that will pile up quickly and blow around easily in the strong winds. At the same time, freezing rain will be developing across portions of the Northeast. Ice accumulation is extraordinarily dangerous. Just a quarter inch can bring down tree branches. A half inch can snap power lines and cause widespread outages lasting for days. Sunday afternoon is also when we need to watch for severe weather. A corridor from eastern Missouri through Illinois into Indiana will be under threat of damaging winds, large hail, and even a few tornadoes between approximately noon and 6 p.m. The biggest threat area will be from Street Louis eastward toward Fort Wayne. The tornado threat will diminish after sunset, but damaging winds will continue. By Sunday evening, heavy snow will be falling in the upper peninsula of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. A blizzard threat will exist because of the combination of heavy snow and extremely high winds. Visibility will drop to near zero at times. Travel will become impossible. Arctic air will be pouring out of Canada, circling around the storm system. We're going to have a very sharp temperature divide across the Midwest by Sunday evening. Areas like Illinois and Missouri will still feel like 70 degrees Sunday afternoon. Meanwhile, Nebraska and Iowa will already be near 0 degrees. You don't have to travel far for the temperature swing to be dramatic. Sunday night into Monday morning, the winds intensify to their peak. Widespread 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts all across the Midwest. In Ohio and Kentucky, wind gusts near 60 to 70 miles per hour are possible near the cold frontal boundary. These are winds strong enough to cause scattered power outages, blow over high-profile vehicles, and turn falling snow into complete whiteout conditions. By early Monday morning, the storm will be positioned over Michigan with a central pressure down to 971 millibars. This confirms a bomb cyclone. Snow will continue across the upper peninsula of Michigan and into northern Illinois, though the heaviest snow will have shifted into Canada. But if you're in the upper peninsula of Michigan, your snow is far from over. Very strong northerly winds will set up across the Great Lakes, and this is when lake effect snow becomes a major problem. 3 different areas will see major lake effect: downwind of Lake Superior across the upper peninsula, downwind of Lake Michigan across central, western, and northern Michigan, and downwind of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario across western New York. I fully expect at least 1 to 2 feet of additional snow in the upper peninsula by Monday night from lake effect alone. By Tuesday, light snow will continue across the northeast as the main storm finally moves out. But the weather pattern will remain favorable for Alberta clippers. These fast-moving systems drop out of Canada, bringing quick shots of snow. Multiple clippers are forecast for the middle and end of next week, keeping temperatures below normal and bringing frequent rounds of light to moderate snow. The snow totals are going to be significant. The GFS model indicates widespread 1+ foot of snow across the upper peninsula of Michigan and northern Wisconsin. Some pockets could see 2 to even 3 feet. Widespread 8 to 12 inches from Minneapolis into northern Wisconsin near Wausau. Areas like Green Bay, Milwaukee, and Chicago will probably be left out from the majority of snowfall, but you'll still deal with extremely high winds and a dramatic temperature crash. In Proverbs 22 verse 3, Scripture tells us, "The prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and suffer for it." This is wisdom speaking directly to our situation. God has given us the ability to see warnings and the intelligence to respond appropriately. Preparing for this storm is not fear, it's wisdom. Let me give you safety guidance that could save your life, starting with winter driving. Slow down. Cut your speed by at least 15 to 20 miles per hour below the limit on snow and ice. Your stopping distance on ice is 3 to 9 times longer than on dry pavement. Physics doesn't care how experienced you are. Increase your following distance to 6 to 8 seconds minimum. No sudden movements. Accelerate slowly. Brake gently. Turn gradually. If you slide, don't slam the brakes. Steer where you want to go and ease off the gas. Know when to get off the road. If visibility drops to a few car lengths because of blowing snow, pull over safely. If interstate traffic is crawling at 15 miles per hour, consider finding a hotel. Your life is worth more than any destination. Prepare your vehicle before the storm. Full tank of gas, emergency kit with blankets, warm clothing, flashlight, first aid, food, water, ice scraper, shovel, and sand or kitty litter. Fully charged phone. Tell someone your route and expected arrival. For home preparation, protect your pipes. Open cabinet doors under sinks. Let faucets drip slightly. Disconnect outdoor hoses and shut off water to those lines. Have a backup heating plan. Never use generators indoors. Stock up on food and water for at least 3 days. 1 gallon of water per person per day. Don't forget medications. Cold weather health risks are serious. Frostbite can occur in 5 to 10 minutes when wind chills drop below 0. Vulnerable areas are fingers, toes, ears, and nose. Signs include numbness and grayish skin. If suspected, get indoors immediately. Warm gradually with warm, not hot water. Hypothermia is a medical emergency. Signs include shivering, confusion, slurred speech, drowsiness. Call 911 immediately. The elderly, young children, and people with heart conditions are most at risk. Check on vulnerable neighbors regularly. Layer clothing properly. Moisture-wicking base layer. Insulating middle layer like fleece or wool. Wind-resistant waterproof outer layer. Wear a hat, mittens, insulated boots. Cover your mouth with a scarf. Now the temperature swing. We just came off record-breaking Christmas warmth for almost half the United States. Now Arctic air is coming. Late tonight, a cold front makes its way across the northern plains. Sunday, cold air starts coming in from the backside of the low-pressure system, dropping temperatures rapidly. Even Dallas, Texas will go from a high of 80 degrees Sunday to 42 degrees Monday. That's a 40-degree temperature swing that far south. Monday, cold air makes its way into the Ohio Valley and Midwest with very strong winds. Wind chills could feel near zero or below zero in Wisconsin and Michigan. Tuesday, cold air reaches the East Coast, covering the entire eastern half of the country. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, another shot of Arctic air appears likely. This one probably won't bring as much snow, but will bring intense cold with even stronger winds. Combined with snow on the ground, it's going to feel very wintry. Chicago will go from near 60 degrees Sunday to wind chills of 0 degrees by Monday morning. That's a 60-degree temperature swing in less than 24 hours. Wind chills will be below zero for most of the Midwest, both Monday and Tuesday morning. In 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7, Paul writes, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." I share this information not to frighten you, but to equip you. Fear paralyzes. Wisdom prepares. You have power over your situation through preparation. Winter storms bring people together. We check on neighbors. We help dig each other out. We share resources when power goes out. There's something beautiful about that. Something that reminds us we're not meant to live isolated lives. Maybe you're the person who shovels an elderly neighbor's driveway. Maybe you invite someone without heat into your warm home. Maybe you check on the single parent down the street. These acts of kindness matter. They reflect Christ's character. Let me summarize the key points. A major bomb cyclone develops over the Midwest this weekend. The storm rapidly intensifies from Saturday night through Monday morning. Central pressure potentially drops to 971 millibars. Heavy snow of 1 to 2 feet forecast across the upper Midwest. Isolated areas potentially receive 2 to 3 feet. Snowfall rates reach 3 to 4 inches per hour during the peak Sunday afternoon and evening. Blizzard conditions develop across upper peninsula of Michigan, northern Wisconsin, Minnesota. Lake effect snow continues Monday and Tuesday, adding 1 to 2 feet in favored locations. Severe weather outbreak possible Sunday afternoon across Illinois and Indiana. Tornado threat confined to 5-hour window from noon to 6 p.m. Damaging winds, large hail, few tornadoes, all possible. Freezing rain impacts portions of Northeast Sunday into Sunday night. Ice accumulation creates dangerous travel, likely causes power outages. Wind major factor across huge area. Widespread wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour forecast Sunday night and Monday. Some areas see gusts 60 to 70 miles per hour. Arctic blast follows the storm. Temperatures drop dramatically Sunday night and Monday. Wind chills fall below zero across much of Midwest Monday and Tuesday morning. Cold spreads to East Coast by Tuesday. Another shot of Arctic air likely later next week. Action items. If you live in the heavy snow zone, prepare to be stuck home at least 24 to 36 hours starting Sunday afternoon. Stock up on essentials today. Make sure you have heat, food, water, medications, emergency supplies. Check snow removal equipment now. If you live in the severe weather zone, have multiple ways to receive warnings Sunday. Know your safe place. Take every tornado warning seriously. If you live in the ice zone, prepare for power outages. Charge devices. Have backup power. Stock supplies. Avoid travel Sunday and Monday. Everyone in the eastern half needs to prepare for extreme cold Monday through Thursday. Protect pipes. Have backup heat. Check on vulnerable neighbors. Avoid unnecessary travel Sunday through Tuesday across entire impact zone. This is one of the most intense storms of the season. The combination of heavy snow, severe weather, high winds, and extreme cold makes this a multifaceted, high-impact event. But you have time to prepare. You have information to make good decisions. You have ability to help others. I'll continue monitoring and providing updates as the forecast evolves. Weather patterns this complex can shift. Small changes in storm track could mean big differences. Check back frequently for latest information. You are prepared. You are informed. You know what's coming and what to do. Trust your preparation. Trust your community. Trust in God, who has not given you a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. Stay safe. Look out for one another. Remember that even the strongest storm eventually passes. God bless you and keep you safe through this weather event, and always